up, peeps? I'm Chromatos, and today we're doing a special announcement. I know I'm a little late to the party, but late's better than never, I guess. So, if any people are Pokemon fans, as you know from the title, this is going to be from the new thing Koroko released, the new Pokemon information. So if you don't like it, then I guess don't watch this video, or you wouldn't have clicked it to begin with. Anyways, let's get started. So, right off the bat, well, actually, not right off the bat, but as you guys know, it's coming out November 18th. I'll be live streaming on Twitch that time. I'll be playing Pokemon Moon, so put that in your calendar or something. I'll be doing it blind, so this is going to be the only information type video you get from me, because except for the starters, the newer starters, I mean the evolutions of the starters. But besides that, that's all you're getting, because I don't want to know anymore. When I go do it, I want to be blind. Besides that, we got the 3 starters, which is Rowlet, Popplio, and Litten. I don't know the actual pronunciations because they haven't came out with them. Rowlet is an owl that has a tiny grass bow, and it's a grass flying type, which is kind of obvious. You're just looking at it and it looks like a freaking grass flying type. I mean, there's a picture right there. I hope it turns cool, because there are some cool Fakemon arts of Noctowl, and if they can make that 3rd evolution look like a fan-made, which I'll put right there, fan-made version of the Mega Noctowl, then it'll look pretty freaking cool. I don't know how they do it, but if so, then high hopes. Then we have Popplio, which is a seal, water type. It has a ball for a nose. It reminds me of Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, to be completely honest. I'm not that big of a fan of this one. I like the other 2. I don't like this one because of that nose. That's all I can see is the nose. But other people like it, and I could see this one becoming maybe a water ground. I hope not, because we've had a lot of water grounds. Maybe water ice. There's no water ice starters, so that would be kind of interesting. But then again, it would be too similar to Seal and Dugong. So that would be kind of sucky. If it becomes a water steel, that would also be cool, but it would be also like Empoleon. So, but I might be completely wrong. It might turn into a freaking psychic type form, you know? Use the freaking ball as a psychic thing like they do with the spoons. Who knows? But then we have the last one, which is personally my favorite, which is Litten. Litten, I'm assuming Litten, I'm gonna Litten you on fire or something like that. I don't even know. But it is a cat. I really think that it is a fire type, and it got spikes when it gets mad. But I honestly think that it is going to be a dark fire, because, well, for one, it's black. Most dark types are usually black, except for a lot. But some of them are black. But I do think that it will be dark, because it's got kind of the hair over its eye, even though some fan-made has it without the hair, but the actual concept art has it with the hair over its eyes. So I honestly think it's going to be a dark fire. If so, that would be really cool, and an epic counterpart to Finnegan's evolution Delphox, because it's a psychic fire, and it's a fox and a cat, so that would be really cool in my opinion. The next thing we got are the legendaries, which is a moon bat and a sun dog, which we did not actually get the names for. So that's interesting that they decided not to put the names. I don't know if any of the starters are going to get megas, or if these guys are going to get megas or primals. I kind of think that they might. I hope the starters do, at least, and then the other 2 probably will get primals, maybe. Since the box art showed it without primals, I'm going to assume that they don't. But they might, you never know. But I think that the sun dog is going to be a fire psychic, because it's the sun. And usually light, because they don't have a light type, unless they decide to come out with a new typing, which is light. Then that might be the sun dog. But if they don't, then it's probably going to be the psychic fire, because psychic is usually the form of light in this game, and sun being light, and of course sun being fire too. So personally, I think it's going to be a psychic fire, and with the moon bat, it could be a few things. It looks like a dragon, so most likely it's going to be a dragon like Noivern. but it might be a Dragon Dark. Now, the thing is, if it's a Psychic Fire against a Dragon Dark, the Dragon Dark would have an advantage, but in most of the games, one of them has more of an advantage than the other one, like Xerneas and Yveltal. Or it could be a Fairy Dark. If it is a Fairy Dark, that would be pretty original and really cool. I do not believe that there's any Fairy Darks yet. If it does, that would be really awesome. And then in one scene, it had this special move where it went like that and had like 5 beams hit the person. So that showed its special move. It didn't show the Sundog's move, sadly. I'm assuming it has a special move too. However, it does look kind of like Entei. So that's iffy, but I still think it's pretty cool. So I'm not even worried about the fact that it looks like that at all. In any way, shape, or form makes it looks cool. So the last thing that some people probably didn't catch because it kind of went by really fast, but I kept watching it over and over again, which is why this video is late. There are going to be character customizations. It did not say that there are, and it did not technically show that they are, but in the original scenes, when you see your character like all dressed up, and I'll have the screenshots right here, as you can tell, this one's fake that I'm showing now, but when you see it there, you see him have a blue striped shirt, black pants, and black and red pants. Red like ends and pockets, I believe. Then, when you see one of your rivals come up to you, I'm assuming this is a different time. It doesn't really show, there's no proof that's a different time than that, but it seems like there is. If it is, the character had black and white striped shirt. Then it also had a black and white pants. So I don't know if it was like them messing up on that scene, the cutscene, or if that is actually customization. Now that's very, very small customization, but in X and Y at the very beginning, there was very small, just color shirt difference customizations with that as well. I really hope that there is customizations again because I loved customizations. I was really upset that Ross didn't have customization. I know why it didn't, because they wanted it to be more like the original games. So I understand why, but I don't like that they did it. Another theory, like I said previously, is that there's going to be light. In quotes, there's nothing to back this up. This is pure theory. But if there is light, that might be too complicated. There's already a lot of types, and I feel like that might just keep adding types will get too much. Light might be fine if it can weaken fairy types but not be super OP. If they did that, then that's totally fine. So that's a theory that there might be light, and if so, it would probably be the Sundog. The next theory is fusion. Now, we're not talking about fusion as in Kyurem and Zekrom, or Kyurem Reshiram, white Kyurem and black Kyurem. We are talking about human to Pokemon fusion. Now, it sounds crazy. It doesn't sound like it would make sense. But there was a Japanese comic, and I'll show it right there. There was a Japanese comic that had this weird diamond crystal, which you can also see in the Japanese name of Pokemon Sun and Moon, right where, just like in X and Y, how it had the Mega symbol. But in it was like more of an adult type manga, but that crystal made you fuse with other Pokemon. Made the person fuse with Pokemon, and there's one that I'll show right here, which is Zekrom and this guy fuse. Which would be kind of similar if they did it where it is like Ash with his Greninja, where it just shows it sort of how you look to the character, and only certain ones. If they did that, that would be cool. If they do it like the comic, that won't be as cool. I'm sorry, the comic did not do well for a reason. There's a reason why it never went into the United States. It did not do well, for obvious reasons. But if they do that, that would kind of, in my opinion, suck. If they do regular Pokemon fusions like Zekrom, Reshiram, and Kyurem, that would be kind of cool. Depending on which ones. I also would like if they would do a Zekrom, Reshiram where they used to be when they were combined, but that's just going into a whole nother topic. But if they did do the fusion where it just looks like you, sort of like Ash's Greninja, or if they did the fusion where it was like Kyurem, I would like that a lot. If they did it with the people, that wouldn't be good for me. You guys might like it. Personally, I wouldn't. Another fan theory is that this is going to be in Hawaii. Now, with this, there was like this leak, or supposed leak, of all of the Pokemon. Now, this has been disproven because of the starters now, but people were saying because of that, it was kind of like Hawaii. So that's what it was going to be, and for some of the older screenshots, there was like Hawaiian themed stuff, like there was like palm trees in it, so they were saying that it might be like Hawaii. Now this is still a possibility. There was owls now, but there are also seal. There's a seal starter. I mean, cats are everywhere, owls are pretty much everywhere, at least in the US. So it still could be in Hawaii, which would be pretty cool if it was just like a couple of islands, kind of like Orange Islands, but in an actual game. Even though there is fan-made game of Orange Islands, which I might play sometime, but going on from that. But that's all I have for now. Oh, one last thing is the bird from the first trailer. People were saying that it looked like Fletchling, but it actually isn't because of very specific characteristics, like the coloring for one, and then it has like this little tube thing and a really long snout like a hummingbird. Here's a fan-made art, and all of these I'll have the name of the artist right down at the bottom to give credit. But that was actually a leak of the bird Pokemon. I'm assuming that's gonna have 2 other evolutions like most. But besides that, we do not know anything else except for theories and speculations like I've went over. Now, if there are other theories and speculations, by all means, like, talk about it in the comments, whatever you want to do. But that's all I have for now. So thank you for watching. If you liked it, smack that like button because that would be awesome, and I will see you later. Peace, peeps.